He wants Jefferson. Climbs the ladder. Oh, my goodness.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Round 2 Showdown show for the Open Championship. Interesting day out there today. We had some big scores out there. We had some pop bunkers. We had some tall rough. We had some out-of-bounds troubles from some guys. Tommy Fleetwood ends up making a charge on that back nine, making 3 birdies on his last 5 holes, not even making a birdie on the par 5 18th either. He sits at 5 under with Emiliano Grillo, who also made a very, very strong charge on his back nine after starting out 2 over through 3. He ends up playing the last 15 holes at 7 under bogey free. What's your thoughts on day one? I like how the course played. There may not have been as much, I don't know what the word is, I guess, looking for, but it wasn't really talked up as much about the course coming in. But I thought the course played very fair, and it was fun to watch. I really enjoy watching some links golf as well. So what was your initial thoughts on day one?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just the British Open. You can't really screw it up. Most of these golf courses have been around for 100, 200 years or something like that. So, they try to lengthen a little bit here and there and do what they can. But for the most part, it's all laid out in front of them. It's really, position golf course. They have good pot bunkers that are penalty areas, obviously. They had some internal OB this year. But, for the most part, these golf courses kind of defend themselves, which makes it kind of fun to watch, where it's not overly hyped. It's not 7,800 yards. They don't have something crazy at the U.S. Open with 6-inch rough or something like that. So I always enjoyed the British Open. It's funny, a golf course like this where the scoring isn't crazy. It's not overly hyped up. It's overly difficult, but it gets the job done. I just enjoy the British Open. It's just a fun flashback in time, I guess, right? It feels like, back to 1920s and just, they're hitting it forward, trying to get on the green and try to avoid catastrophe, which we did see from a couple guys. I forget who it was, and it'll probably come to me here in a second, but I think he was 2 under on 17, and I want to say he made a triple or an 8, something like that, the par 3. So, gosh, who was that? I think it was
a guy, JT, who made a 9 on the last hole.
It can happen, man. It can happen. Then that number, are you talking about 18? Yeah, 18's a little bit goofy. I get why they did it, but I'm not a huge fan of that. It is what it is. Everyone has to play it. So I've been around golf long enough to know any complaint you can do, it's the same for everybody else. So what's the complaint about? It's a little bit goofy with out of bounds, 5 paces off the edge of the fairway.
Yeah, wild.
I would just snap hook it left and just avoid it.
There were some guys that hit the ball out of balance on 3, and they were literally 7 yards off the fairway.
I saw the tee shot Scheffler hit on 18 right before Adam Scott hit it OB, and he hit it looked like if I was hitting my first tee shot in the U.S. Open or the Masters, how nervous I would be in this half slap down the fairway. And that's what Scotty Scheffler did. He took 3-wood out and hit this little dud skank 3-wood that toppled down into the fairway. Just any way to get it in play. But overall, man, I like the golf course. Only 500 par leading makes it pretty nice. And it wasn't a crazy round of any win. It was just through and through a pretty standard day.
Yeah, there's only 31 guys under par. So be interesting. I think the cut sweats is going to be fun tomorrow. I really like how they all go off hole 1 too. I think that's another unique deal where they're playing golf for 15 hours consecutive throughout the day. Pretty fun.
It's a full 12 hours almost, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was more than 12 hours, right? I guess it was 1:15 or 1:30 till 3 o'clock or something my time. So more than 12 hours, crazy.
For sure. It looks like the weather's going to come up more so tomorrow. I think today was the best day. I'm seeing some gusts coming up around 1 p.m. tomorrow. I think that cut line is going to be right around 3, maybe even 4 over tomorrow. What's your thoughts on that? Do you have any initial thoughts on the cut line? I think it's going to play a little tougher tomorrow if the winds do kind of crank up some.
Yeah. I imagine so. I did see that the AM played a little bit easier today for guys. I mean, still was some decent rounds in the afternoon with Grillo and guys. But I mean, again, there's really not a clear AM PM cutoff either. So, I imagine by the afternoon tomorrow, it's going to get a little bit tougher. Fairways might run out a little bit more and make it a little bit tricky for guys coming home. So, yeah, I think we joke about it a little bit, but I do think the earlier the better tomorrow for guys.
Yeah, I was kind of grouping it. I think there was 52 starting tee times, or 52 games as they call it. I actually like listening to this on Sirius too. I like listening to the radio. They broadcast this and they have all those different terms and meanings. I like listening to those guys talk about golf in a different way than I'm used to hearing it from.
It's awesome, dude. I love it. Yeah, it's just it's a little bit different, and like I said, it's like a flashback to the good old days, I guess, of golf. Not that it's gotten worse now, but it just seemed like it stood the test of time, some of these golf courses.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Kind of looking into the wind just a little bit before we get started here. I'm seeing, like I was saying, I think there's like 52 tee times. So they kind of grouped them 1 through 26, and then 27 through 52 was the AM PM wave advantage. 7 a.m. it looks like the winds are going to be right around 13 to 15 miles an hour through about noon, with gusts potentially hitting 20 to 25 miles an hour in that 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. range. And then it kind of goes down a little bit, 6, 7 p.m. if they're still out on the course. They'll be finishing their rounds at about that time. But I think I'm definitely going to target that. I think we could see another one-stroke advantage like we saw today with those guys. So I'll definitely be I still have some PM guys in the pool, but I'm definitely going to prioritize the AM guys here. We can kind of kick this off then. Just we'll go leaderboard style like we usually do. Knock out these top 6 guys, 4 under through 5 under. We got 6 guys up there. LG seniors up there, a little guy senior for JSU out there. He had a really good day today. I'm really glad that I ended up switching him to my 2 main lineups and my cash team going into this. He was putting the ball lights out, though. I mean, he gained pretty good with the approach, but he was putting the ball lights out today. I think he's another solid option there in the low 7Ks. He goes out pretty early tomorrow, 8:47 as well. He's a guy I'll be looking at some. Antone Rosner was the name that was kind of brought up some last night on that Up to Lock show. He had a good round out there. And then Emiliano Grillo, I didn't play him much on DraftKings, but on FanDuel, he was like literally min price over there. So I have a decent amount of him over there. I think he's fine if you want to go back to him. Tommy Fleetwood's going to go out later tomorrow. I generally don't like to play some of these guys. I'm not going to play that Leprechaun, that amateur. I'm not going to go there tomorrow. And not going to play the other Spaniard up there either, Adrian. What's your thoughts here, 4 under, 5 under guys?
Yeah, before we get going, I will say it's interesting that DK changed the pricing off of the Classic for the week, and now there's nobody below 6K. So may not make a huge difference. It kind of, makes Scotty Scheffler a little bit more difficult to get cute with, I guess, if you tried to play 5K guys. So yeah, there's nobody below 6K tomorrow. So all the 6K normal terrible duds are going to be at the low 6Ks again. So just keep that in mind as you build. It's going to be tougher to play a 12K Scheffler and 11.5 McIlroy. But yeah, as far as the top guys go, Fleetwood's been playing great for quite a while. 9,400 is up there. Like, he definitely has to play well. He is going off in the PM wave. It's tough for me to really feel great conviction about going back to him after the lead. I mean, he is playing good. He has been playing well. He projects out pretty well. He would probably just be a last-in guy if I absolutely had to go to him, but he's not a priority. The rest of these guys in this range, Grillo goes off early. I'm fine with that. I talked about him on our Wednesday show with Big T and Uncle T, and I did like his stats coming into the event. He's only 6,900 for tomorrow. I think he's a fine filler for values, for a value, I should say. I'll kind of wait on Rosner and Adrian Otegu, however you pronounce his last name. just from a European standpoint, like these guys are kind of hit or miss anyways. And if they have one good round in them, I'm definitely going to be on the wait and see approach. And who knows what the pressure does to them for a British Open like this. But like if you got them in Classic, which you probably should have some exposure to some of these Europeans, I'm cool with fading in round 2 and just seeing what happens. And then no chance I'm playing any Brian Harman. He can still gain 4 strokes putting tomorrow, but I don't want to go chasing Brian Harman. So for me, I think Grillo is probably the target. If you want to play someone that's playing decent, goes off early, he's 6,900, so he's still relatively cheap and obviously playing better than any other, 6K value for the most part. I think that's probably the way to go. And then Fleetwood's pretty solid for cash, I think. But yeah, it really just depends on if you can get someone else in that low 9K range that's going off earlier that you feel is pretty comparable. But yeah, I'll just say Grillo is probably my favorite in this 4 and 5 under range.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's a very strong target there. Dipping down into this 3 under range, there's a few morning guys here that played well. Alexander Noren's going out 752. He played very well today. I had a little bit of him in the MME pool. He's been playing all right the last couple of weeks. He was another guy that had a really strong putter, though. I don't know if I'll go back to him tomorrow. Fair price tag, though, at 6,900 if you want to.
He's not to interrupt you, but I mean, he's kind of done it uniquely, I guess, of late. Like he's been playing so bad for a while, and the last couple events have been a little bit better, but he has kind of shined with the putter a bit to save him on a few rounds. I've kind of kept a closer eye on him. So, I mean, I've always been a fan. I don't know if anyone's ever a fan of Alex Noren, but like the dude's pretty cool. Like he seems like a pretty cool dude on the PGA Tour when he was playing good. But I will say I think he's been doing a bit of damage with the putter more so than like consistent ball striking as we see with some guys. He's still cheap, but like I said, I think there's some other guys just to kind of buoy, I guess your point is, he has been playing decent and some decent finishes, but the putter has saved him a bit. And I think it's a good opportunity to fade him tomorrow if people want to chase that early tee time.
Yeah, and another guy I'm looking at here at 3 under is Max Homa, who's actually been playing better out. He missed a couple of cuts there, but then he was 21st at the Rocket Mortgage, top 15 last week. And now he puts together a solid round today, gained over 5 strokes total across the board. 4 birdies, 1 bogey for him. He goes out at 10 o'clock, so pretty early. I think he's a fine option in that mid 8K range. If you're looking for someone there, I'll have him in the pool for sure. Some other, I'm not going to play Stuart Sink there. We can dive into the 2 under guys too.
I mean, I'll just really quickly, we can keep it moving, but yeah, I think Max Homa is a great play, 8,400 at the price. I do think he's on the trend back up, and I like his what he carried over from the Scottish Open last week, even into the Scottish Open, like your point from the Rocket Mortgage. So I think Homan's probably one of my favorite targets as well. And again, Wyndham Clark is kind of in that same boat as Fleetwood. Like the dude's playing solid, but if you can find better plays in that same range that are going off earlier, I would still give a bump to the earlier plays. But Wyndham's fine. But yeah, Homa for sure in this range is my favorite. There's no chance I'm playing Sharma or Stewart or Stewart Sink. So yeah, that's it for me. We can keep it going easy up there.
Yeah, sounds good. And then we've got a little bigger range here. About 6-7 guys here at -2. I'm not going to go back to Spieth tomorrow. He's going to go out later tomorrow. He kind of had that magic beans working for him today at times. Gained over 2 strokes putting. Did have the double bogey and then did end on a bogey with a bad putt on 18. But did make 5 birdies today. I don't think I'm going to go back to him. I do like Alexander Bjork. He was a soldier last week. I played him decent amount this week, 2 under. In the tougher conditions, and it was pretty much all ball striking with him too today. Gained 2.6 strokes with the approach. The short game was still there for him. 7,300, 730 tee time. I'm definitely going to go back to Bjork there at 2 under. And then you got another guy here who was, I think it was a big tee pump play. This Oliver Wilson. He was in that 5K range. I think he's fine tomorrow if you want to go back to him as a punt. I think he's probably my favorite full-on punt play for tomorrow, 6,300. He's going out in the morning, -2. I think that's about it for me here. I'm not going to play that many the afternoon guys. I don't think I'm going to go to like Siwoo or anything here. I'm not going to go to Matthew Jordan was another punt play that someone brought up. on one of the shows we had going this week. He's right there too, hometown guy. I think he's fine if you want to go there. But what's catching your eye here? -2. Are you on Team Bjork with me?
Yeah, I'll join you with Bjork. He has been playing pretty consistently over on the European Tour. He goes off super early. I don't even know if that's like the first tee time. I think it's like probably like the 9th tee time at 7:30. I think 6:30 is the first tee time. So yeah, I think Bjork is fine. And like the other guys, there's a few others like Guido going off kind of late morning. As a GPP play, that's probably worth a shot. I won't chase Matthew Jordan, who had it really going earlier in the day, and I won't chase any Oliver Wilson. But yeah, certainly not Spieth or Siwoo Kim going off late. Like those guys aren't really needle movers for me. I did play Siwoo on my main FD team this week, but I won't play him when he's going off at night basically tomorrow. So yeah, I'll go right back to you with Alexander Bjork. I think that's a pretty strong option there at 7:30.
Nice. You love to see it. -1 range, pretty big range here, about 13, 14 guys maybe right here. Old Fatty Reed had a good round for him, -1. Patrick Cantlay had a decent round, -1. Brooks Koepka was playing with the slow ass and actually played well down the stretch there. Looked like the wheels were going to start falling off. It looked like he was starting to get annoyed there around hole 7, 8, 9, 10, made a couple of bogeys, but then fired back 3 birdies on the back end of that back 9. So I really like how he ended the day. I'm looking for a guy that's going out later tomorrow. I think Koepka would be a guy I'd definitely be looking at. -1. He's kind of like a plotter in these majors. He's just going to kind of take it easy on the first couple of rounds and look to make his move on, rounds 2, 3, and 4. So I like Koepka tomorrow. I didn't play any Hideki. Probably won't go back to him. Scotty I was on Scotty once again this week, and once again he's pretty much the best ball striker in the field and can't make a putt to save his life again. So just another week where he'll probably T3 with losing 5 strokes putting or something again.
Just crazy, dude. He's been so good. I don't even remember, like, I don't know when this all happened, but like even when he was on his run, when he had like 5 wins in 6 weeks or 4 wins in 6 weeks, whatever it was last year, I don't remember ever even at the end of the season thinking like the dude just can't make a putt. And then all of a sudden this season, that's exactly what it is all year. So it's very strange how something like that for a guy like that can be so good now, almost better than he was last year in ball striking, and have completely lost it with the putter. But
maybe
it's got to turn around at some point. Gosh.
What are those jailbreak putters or something? Maybe they need to get him one.
Yeah, I guess everyone needs a jailbreak putter. Man, he's just so good. 11-9 is tough to get to him, and he's going off in the PM, but and it's a strong field. I think Scheffler's actually probably a comfortable fade. I mean, I don't really see him breaking the slate. And at 11-9, he would have to kind of really break the slate. He would have to shoot 62 or something. Yeah. Because if he shoots 65, anyone else, you could probably find 2 other guys that could possibly shoot 65 tomorrow. So I don't think Scheffler's a must, and I don't think he's really a scary fade, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple of punts I like down here at -1 as well. Romain Lange, I can't even pronounce it.
Langasque. You never seen Ratatouille? You never seen Ratatouille?
No, I haven't.
I don't know if it's on there, but it is a Italian or French or something. But
I think he's
fine. He's fine.
David Lingmerth, he's fine if you want another cheapie down there. He had a double bogey on 6, but was pretty good the rest of the way. Gained some putting. Yeah, I think he was fine off the tee. Keegan Bradley's always a good upside play here for GPPs. I think my favorite target overall is going to be Victor Hovland tomorrow. I think he's going to put together a pretty strong round tomorrow. He's going out. Where's he? 9:47 a.m. He's going out early. He had a really rough start to his day too. He wasn't really doing anything on the first 10 holes. It was just kind of getting by, and then kind of got a little momentum. Had the ball strike and really pick up on the back 9. So I think he's a guy I'm going to really target tomorrow for my top spend up tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you like?
He's so good. Like everyone talked about off the tee this week. And like, I do think he's so good off the tee, like not just from a distance standpoint, but he's very precise. Like he won the US Amateur at Pebble Beach. He's played well in the Open. I think Victor Hovland's easy play at 10-1. Going off somewhat early, not crazy early, 947, but I do like him there. This is kind of a good range. It's just, you don't want to get drawn too much into avoiding the PM guys, but I do think I'll probably play one of these PM guys in most of my builds. They all grade out really well for round 2. Shout out to Kurt. And they all are playing really well leading into this week and playing good this week. I'm with you on Hideki. I'll probably just sit that one out. But like for Xander and Cantley, like 9,900 and 9,700, I'm still okay with them in the late afternoon. Like the guys are world class. Cantley's in the top 5 in the world, I think, right now. And I'm totally cool with your Brooks Koepka call. I think Scheffler's the only one at 11.9. It's just really difficult to make it make sense when you have guys that are, close to $2,000 cheaper that have as much ceiling on any given round, I guess, as Scheffler on this type of golf course. Like there's just I'm not afraid of him shooting 59 here. So yeah, I think this is actually a really good range to target. I'm fine if you want to play some Keegan. I'll fade Sungjae. I didn't play much of him this week. And Langasque is okay as a sprinkle. I wouldn't put him in my main lineup, but he's fine at 7,100. But yeah, I think I would probably rank them. I was kind of high on Cantley, so I think I'll play Cantley and then Brooks and then Xander. Victor Hovland above all three of them, but just kind of grouping them as a PM wave. I do think these guys are probably going to be good late PM hammers tomorrow.
Yeah, there's some pretty good names here in this even par range too. I think Rory, if I was going to spend up tomorrow, I think I'd just take the slight savings on Rory at the 400. I think him and Scotty are pretty much within fractions of each other on a one round sample size. I think he's fine if you want to go there. He's
but
going
even 11.5. Like I don't know if you're giving up much on ownership. I just like 11.5, 11.9 for either of them. Neither one feel like they could go crazy. Rory gets the AMP tee time. I get that. But again, I don't know at 11.5. Like it's a huge difference off of Brooks or Victor. Like, and I don't think on this golf course there's a 62 out there. Maybe there is, and maybe it's Romain Langasque. But yeah, for me, it's really tough to get up to those two, Scheffler and McIlroy. And I still think they're going to get ownership.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, I think they're both going to probably see around 20% again. I do like some Tyrrell Hatton as another guy in that 9K range. I thought the wheels were going to come undone there after 11. He had a really bad showing there on the green on 11. I thought he was going to blow up. Then he makes another bogey on 14, and then doesn't make birdie on the par 5 15th. But then battles back on 16, hits a great putt there, makes a birdie. So I think Hatton's fine. He's going out rather early tomorrow as well. I was on him pre-tournament, so I'm going to go right back to him. Matthew Southgate was another one of those 5K guys I had in my pool this week. He was terrible with the flat stick today, but he gained slightly a ball striking, so I think he's fine tomorrow if you want to go back to him. Marcel Siem, he had it going there for a while, and then the wheels kind of fell off of him. I probably won't go back to him. Jordan Smith was a guy I played on my cash team as well. He was up and down today. I mean, didn't really do much with the short game. I mean, the irons were on point for him. Nearly gained 3 strokes approach. So I have no issue going right back to Jordan Smith if I wanted a PM guy. I know he's going out at 126, but I think he's fine there. Anything really sticking out to you here? I did like how – I will say I did like how Minwoo Lee finished his round. I had him in some teams. Really bad start to the day for him, but he makes a couple birdies down the stretch, so he gets back to even par. So I liked how he ended the day on a high note at least.
Yeah, Minwoo Lee lost about 3 strokes on approach on 3 holes. So I think his from a strokes game perspective gets a little bit misleading there. Yeah, I think Hatton's probably my favorite play tomorrow, to be honest. He's a very good round 2 scorer. Stats look pretty good. I'm not worried about slightly negative on approach. He's been playing great coming into this week. Between him and Fleetwood, it was like the 1-2 for the Europeans to play really well here. And I still think Hatton has it in him to go low. I got him about 2 points less projected than McIlroy, if that means anything. And he's obviously $3,000 or $2,900 cheaper. I don't know what the math is there. It's got to be around there, 2,000 or something.
Yeah.
So I think Hatton's probably my favorite. I'm cool with Min Woo Lee. Like I said, he lost like 3 strokes on just 3 holes and goes off bright and early at 741. So I like Min Woo Lee as a nice option going off early and getting things going for you. Not really interested with those PM guys. Most of them are Europeans. I know Sepp Straka's stuck in there, but like to me, I have exposure to Jordan Smith elsewhere. I don't know, 7,100. I guess I could buy into if I absolutely had to. But the other guy, Seamus Power, I mean, he's withdrawn like 3 out of the last 5 events or something. I'm not going to play him. Nikolai Hogard, going off that late, he's still hit or miss. I'm not going to go there. JT Poston just likes to putt really well, and that's about it. So I'm not going to go there. And then for the bottom range, I don't think anyone's really cheap enough. I guess Southgate I would go to just because I have exposure to him, and he's kind of, he could have a bad round and be on the cut line. So I might go to Southgate at 6,200 and just hope I can double down on one good round, and whatever happens on the weekend is whatever. So yeah, I think Southgate's probably my favorite value at 6,200, but my favorite play on the slate's probably Hatton.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm definitely high on Tyrrell Hatton as well. Diving into the +1 range, there's some quite a few Aussies here. 3 of them right in a row. Cam Smith, Adam Scott, and Jason Day. Day played much better than I thought he would today. Started out great. The middle of the round was a little not so good. I don't know if I'll get to him tomorrow, though. Fitzpatrick actually played better than I thought he was today as well. He had a couple of birdies down the stretch to get to back to +1. I was about even on Cameron Smith for the main slate. Just for his overall upside, I wanted to get a little bit of him. He played well today. I mean, he was pretty up and down. I mean, 4 birdies, 5 bogeys. It was just kind of all over the place for him today, as you would kind of think on this type of a course there. And then Mr. Flower, Ricky Fowler, was playing really well today until he gets to hole 18 and hits a couple foul balls there, and all of a sudden he ends up with a triple there. So I think he's fine tomorrow if you want to go back there.
He lost over 3 strokes on approach on that one hole. Like again, that's like a perfect example of how skewed these things can be. Yeah. Like he's obviously positive all day, and then he hits the one hole. He's slightly positive, to be fair. He's slightly positive all day. Looks decent on paper for tomorrow. One hole, he shows a huge negative, and now it looks like he's playing terrible, and it's not true. So, yeah, I think if it wasn't for his 310, I'd be even more interested. But I'm not sure with me going so much Hatton and probably Hovland, I probably won't play any Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, same here with me. I don't think I'll get to him. Cameron Young played better than I thought he would here. I wasn't going to account for his last year's Open experience with that completely different course setup here. He couldn't really hit the ball wherever he wanted to off the tee here. Kind of the same thing with Cameron Smith. He wasn't going to be on paper able to just smash it wherever he wanted to off the tee here.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any Cameron Young on the main slate. He lost a stroke putting, was good everywhere else. Probably won't get to him, though, either. Really don't see too much that I really like here in this +1 range. Yeah. Maybe some Adam Scott. He was good with the irons, good with the short game. He's another guy that lost over 2 strokes off the tee on 18. He hit a foul ball, and he really played bad down the stretch. 16, 17, and 18 were just not his friend today. Played those at 3 over in his last 3 holes. So anything from you, +1?
Snyder, to be honest, man, I don't think I'm going to play anybody at +1 for tomorrow. There's a big group going off in the afternoon. There's just at the prices, there's better plays, I think, going off earlier. No one really stands out in this strong field. So, yeah, to be fair, man, I'm not going to play – I don't think I'm going to play anybody at +1. Even the cheap guys, I'm not going to – chase any of these guys. We can for me, man, we can skip this range. There's nobody that piques my interest. There's no chance I'm playing Answer. He's the only like early noteworthy name, I guess, but he's been so bad on live. So I'll just skip this range and feel pretty comfortable. Like Cameron Young got like $1,000 price bump off the main slate, right? Like he had to be in like the low 8s, right?
I thought he was. I mean,
he had to have been. I don't remember what he was. Yeah. So, yeah, I think
he definitely wasn't in that 9K range for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Fowler projects decent. Cameron Smith projects decent, but again, at the prices, there's better, or at least equal plays that are going off earlier, and I would feel much more comfortable playing a guy like Hovland or Hatton again at the same price, and having just as strong a chance of shooting 65 as these guys would if they were going off in the AM, and they're going off obviously really late. So, yeah, I think it's just a cross out range for me.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even have any of those guys in the playbook there. If you want to head over to runpuresports.com, use that promo code SUMMER33. I don't think I have the right banner up. No, I don't. There it is, SUMMER33 for 33% off. You'll get all sports one price. I got the Showdown playbook up on the site right now. Expensive tier, mid-tier, cheap tier, player notes, everything's on there. The score, the price, the golfer, the notes, the core plays are on top. Sleep strategy at the bottom. Make sure to head over there and check it out. We've got MLB back in full swing, MMA's in full swing. Everything is all right there for you. As we get into the NFL and college football is slowly, actually, it's really speedily coming around. I think it's under a month until college football is back. So, I mean, you love to see that. NFL is under 50 days now, so that'll be here before you know it. And we've got some big surprises coming with that as well. So head on over Summer 33. That even includes Saber Sim as well. Then we'll dive into this +2 range. There's some guys here that can make some moves tomorrow that are going out early tomorrow, like Corey Connors +2. Just had a really bad day today, mainly with a short game. I mean, he lost over a stroke and a half with the short game today. Gained with the irons, gained off the tee. Just made way too many bogeys today. What did he make? 5 bogeys today with 3 birdies. So I think he's a guy that can bounce back. Morikawa is another guy that's going to go out rather early tomorrow. He had a really bad, probably the worst iron shot I've ever seen him hit on number 3. He hit it like 30 yards into the freaking stands on 3 out of bounds, which is wild to see that. He had some other missed short putts as well, but overall, I thought he played pretty well from a ball striking standpoint. He's going out rather early. I think he's fine. Finau is kind of catching some steam late. He's going out early tomorrow. He's +2. He started out with a birdie on his first hole, and then it just kind of went to crap after that. But I think there's some other guys here like Sam Burns. There's some names here. Andrew Putnam. Henrik Stenson was kind of a name that was getting talked up a little bit as a live guy coming in. He's going out in the afternoon tomorrow, but he's got that 6K price tag, 6-7. Anything really sticking out to you here at +2? Are you going to target some of these early movers on bounce back here?
I think I will, yeah. Yeah, I think this is a nice range to target, and everyone's a pretty cheap price, to be honest. Obviously, Morikawa at 9,300 and Burns and Finau in the 8K range, but like Corey Connors price hasn't moved. Love going back to him. He made bogey on 18. He was up there in 2 and lost a stroke around the green. So, yeah, outside of that, man, his irons were good. Off the tee was consistent and solid, as we know it to be, and just kept putting pretty poorly. So I think he had three putts, it looks like. So yeah, I think Corey Connors will be a nice bounce back at 7,800. Just fits a lot of really good builds. I think Gary Woodland's interesting. He actually projects out pretty well, and for round 2, he's in my top 20 for round 2 outperformers. So I think Woodland I'll play. As far as cheap guys go, I don't know, man. I can't really get myself to play Stinson again. I played him in one lineup. I probably can't do that. The cheap guys that are kind of no names, Kazuki Higa, going off real early, but I probably can't do that. I said there's a bunch of cheap guys. I kind of guess I just stuck to the 7K range. So yeah, I think I'm going to play. I'm going to play Morikawa tomorrow. I'm going to take a shot on him one more time. I think he figures it out at some point. Corey Connors will be a core play. Gary Woodland.
Yeah, one
more name that I'm going to try, and the only reason I'm going to give it a go is I didn't play any of them in main slate. I faded them, and looking through his round, it looks like he could have potentially played a lot better, and that's Russell Henley, who also he rates in the top 25 for round 2. So if I ever want to take a shot on Russell Henley, since I didn't play him in the full week, tomorrow would be the day. Obviously, he's probably going home after tomorrow. So I'll take a shot on Russell Henley.
With the flat stick today, wasn't he? Like almost 4 strokes lost putting or something.
He was, yeah. And like I brought him up on the Wednesday show because like stats wise, he looked great. Mm-hmm. He looked like he looked almost like Corey Connors. Like irons look great, driving is okay. And as far as like being solid tee to green, he would check every single box. And then you go and look at his open championship history, and he's missed like every single cut but 3 in like the last 8 years. So he obviously doesn't do great on link style, whether it's because his ball flight super high or whatever it is. But yeah, in round 2, he tends to do well. Today he gained about 2 strokes ball striking and about 2 strokes around the green, lost 4 strokes, 3.5 strokes putting. So I think Russell Henley potentially could have, 3 or 4 under par, which would be pretty good, obviously, if scoring is even more difficult tomorrow than it was today. So, yeah, I think this mid-range here is a nice target. And I guess Corey Connors would be easily the chalk, or at least my favorite chalk to target.
Yeah, for sure. I like some of these guys right there, right near the cut line here. We got some decent names here at +3 too. The other Fitzpatrick is down here at +3. He was doing well until he took that triple on 17. He battled back from a rough early start, was playing better throughout the middle of the round, then took that triple there. We got Tom Kim +3, Dustin Johnson +3. He was kind of catching some steam.
He was doing fine. He made a triple, I think, somewhere. Or it was a double bogey. He went from even to +3.
Yeah.
In like 2 holes, I guess. So
definitely. And then Thomas Dietrich was a kind of a name that was there. He made a couple birdies down the stretch to kind of salvage something. Justin Rose, he just started out horrible and kept playing horrible. Did kind of salvage it a little bit on the back 9. I thought he was going to full on just punt after hole 5. He wasn't even looking at putts. They were saying on the radio and such. Looked like he was on full punt mode after hole 5, but for +3, he's right there on the cut line, I think, for tomorrow. It could be +3, +4, so he's right there. And then John Rahm, he was playing not bad until the back 9. I mean, he had a couple of just horrible holes there, especially 18. He hit the fairway on 18, had a great look at his second approach, and then he rolls it into a bunker, has to punch out.
Backwards.
Yeah, and then hit a bad chip, hit a bad putt, ended up making bogey from the middle of the fairway there. So he was definitely fuming after that. Are you going to go back to John Rahm tomorrow? I'm trying to find his price tag here. 11K, that's still up there. He's a lot.
Yeah. I can't get to John Rahm at 11K. It doesn't sit well with me. I will go back to DJ. I have a lot of exposure to DJ this week, and it only makes sense to double down, I guess. So yeah, DJ, I need to will him across the cut line. And man, he was playing good. I think he was even under par at one point.
I thought he was early.
Yeah, I think he was. And he blew up. Someone else was too, and they blew up. But yeah, DJ, I love DJ at 9,200. I'll probably go back to Tom Kim as a bounce back. His stats don't look great. Definitely don't jump off the page, but he has been trending in the right direction over the last month. So Tom Kim would be a nice bounce back spot at 8,200 for him. Rose is fine as well. He did lose about 1.5 strokes off the tee. But Rose has been so consistent. 8,100 going off early. He's probably a pretty solid option. I don't see him completely imploding on you.
What are you going to do with the biggest chalk play of the whole slate going out in the afternoon tomorrow? Bobby Mack.
I won't be playing any Bobby Mack. I only played him on FanDuel. I ended up fading him on my main team on DraftKings and then played him on my main team on FanDuel. Not sure how the math works where, he's 40% on – I think he was 40% in the $200 on DK, and he was like 11% in the $200 on FanDuel. So I'm not sure if you actually gain leverage off the ownership, but it doesn't matter. Either way, he misses the cut, and you're losing out on half your entries. So
I just mainly played him on my cash team on DraftKings where he was you had to play him because he was going to be 60%. And
yeah, if he just finishes in the top 20, you're probably missing out because everyone else is moving ahead of you if you pick the value that scored worse. I'll tell you two other guys that I'll play that are down here. Stats wise, they don't look great, but I didn't really play them for stats anyways, because they're just all over the place. Any given tournament, they're all over the place. But Thomas Dietrich at 6,800 and Ewan Ferguson at 6,600. I also brought him up in the chat last night, Mr. Ferguson. It's just a weird name to say, Ewan. Like Owen is fine, but Ewan is a weird name. But 925 for him. Thomas Dietrich at 847. I like those two early. Get things going. They're European Tour staples. Again, I'll throw out one round of stats for them. Like I said, they're not going to be stats guys anyways necessarily. And then I guess for the top end, I'll just hammer DJ and Tom Kim, have a little bit of Justin Rose. Make it easy.
What's your thoughts on this comment? I know you haven't seen Mangone play, but trust me, I think he lost like 36 golf balls when I played with him at Firethorn.
In one round?
It was 18 holes, I believe.
How to get that many golf balls in your golf bag? That's pretty good.
I had a box of golf balls there for him.
Does he have like a ball retriever? That's the way you really know if someone sucks, is they have a ball retriever in their bag.
I don't even think he had. I don't think so. I don't know.
I played with one guy, and he paid for me to play in his scramble. He paid for me, and it wasn't one of mine, but I think it was a friend of mine, but it wasn't like a buddy that paid for both of us. But got in a scramble. I think he played like 2 holes, and then he starts fishing balls out of like a lake. And we just keep playing, and he's still fishing balls out of the lake. He doesn't play the rest of that 9. Like he's fished balls out of that one. We go to the next tee. He doesn't hit. He's like looking around the tee for like marsh areas because it's like down in Florida, it's just nothing but water. And he's fishing balls out again. So, yeah, I mean, the guy wasn't great. It wasn't really hurting us, but I've never seen that before. The dude shows up to a golf course, plays 2 holes, and fishes them out of lakes for the rest of the round, basically. So, it's hard to top that. If someone could top that, I'm not sure how, but
have you seen these? One of my friends was showing me this. They make these LED certain lights where you take these weird lights out into like the native areas when it's dark out and like the golf balls glow.
Oh man, no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you can get it off Amazon, I guess. It's pretty wild. Something in the golf ball makes them glow if they hit a certain light hits them. It's pretty wild.
I'll have to check it out. I don't do a lot of night putting, but that'd be pretty cool.
I think they found like 20 balls in like 15 minutes, just one little area. It was pretty wild.
Interesting.
But, we can just kind of clump these last few guys into one tier here. I generally don't like to play that many guys playing this bad. They're in the hundreds down here. Yeah. I really don't see much of anyone down here that really catches my eye too much.
I think there's a few guys you could probably play as just like complete darts. And I won't say Justin Thomas, even though he's down there. And he probably bounces back to shoot even par, but I'm not sure that wins you anything at 8K. He needs to be like 6,500.
Ryan Fox is kind of a popular name.
Yeah, so I was going to say Ryan Fox and Neiman are the 2 guys that stand out to me that still like project decent. So if you want to take a shot on guys that had bad rounds, Neiman obviously going off early. I think he's okay. I didn't play much of him for the full week slate, but I will say like if you ever want to play someone at like 1% own that still has, a relatively decent chance of, shooting 68 and being on the optimal lineup, Neiman's probably one of those guys. So Neiman, Ryan Fox, like you said. Outside of that, I'm not sure anybody down here. See, Heath grades out decent. He's going off 825. Grades out as far as like projections, but I don't play Heath very much. And he definitely didn't play well today. He lost like 5 strokes ball striking. So I won't play anyone else. But yeah, I'll just mention Neiman. And then if you want to, I don't think you need it. But Fox is okay.
Stats wise, Phil's kind of popping from an approach standpoint to putting standpoint. I'm not going to go there, but he finished.
Yeah, the problem with Phil though, remember like the stats, every stat's correlated with the previous stats. So like if Phil gained 4 strokes on approach and then you go look at his off the tee game and he lost 2.5 strokes, it's most likely because he's he's getting a bump up because he hit it in a bunker or he hit it in the rough. And because he hit it, to 20 feet from 180 out of the rough, he gets 0.2 more shots to his approach than he would have from the fairway. So I think tee to green helps a lot with that. But yeah, I don't get too caught up with approach if his off the tee is negative. Yeah. It goes hand in hand. So, and this is same. It goes the other way too. Like if Bryson goes off and gained like 5 shots or 4 shots, I don't know if 5 shots is even possible, but 4 strokes off the tee, but he lost like a stroke on approach. Go look at like his approach shots though. He might have had like 70 yards in and he hit it to 7 feet and lost strokes on approach on those shots. So it goes both ways. So just for general knowledge, I guess, always kind of paint yourself a picture. Like, okay, he gained a ton on approach, but did he lose a bunch on off the tee, which may have added a little bit to his approach if he hit it okay, and it looks like it did. So yeah, I wouldn't get too drawn into just crazy approach numbers because sometimes off the tee helps with that.
Yeah, it looks like I remember the chat was going wild with Ryan Fox because he was a guy that started out 2 under through 5 and shoots like 44 on the back 9.
Yeah, I think he tripled his last hole or something as well. So yeah, I think Fox is an interesting GPP play. Obviously was playing good going into this event, was playing decent starting off. Like I said, he still projects out well for a PGA Tour level player. He doesn't go off super early. It would be you. I would probably, if I was building 5 lineups, then I would start to add a little bit of Fox. I wouldn't throw him in my main 5.
Yeah, for sure. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe. It really helps bring these free shows to you guys every week. And we can end this out with a core like we usually do. We'll do a 4-man core here. I'll give you first pick again for anyone you want to start the team off with, and then I'll counteract.
Okay. Yeah, I seem pretty set on starting with Tyrrell Hatton. So I'll start there. Tyrrell Hatton, 9,600.
Yeah, we can do let's go. I'll go with a cheapie here. I'll go with my guy Alexander Bjork at 7,300 to open up a little salary there.
Okay. I figured you would. I'll go with Corey Connors. Make it easy.
There you go. That's all I'll go with, we'll just keep it another mid-range guy right there. I do like Hovland if I was going to take a top-tier guy, but I'll go Minwoo Lee to save some more salary for the people there at 7,800. I think he's a solid option going out early, ended on some good mojo. So I like Minwoo at 78, 741 tee time as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty. Just talking through this and going back through it, you tinker with that, or you like you said, Hovland, you tinker with Grillo instead of Bjork or Minwoo Lee. Like, it just, the whole range is wide open for earlier tee times and guys that have, 67, 66 in them. So I actually feel pretty set on how the lineup construction should go for tomorrow. Yeah,
I think so. Definitely. I think that pretty much covers everything well for us. So I got the Showdown playbook up over on RunPureSports.com. Use that promo code SUMMER33 for 33% off. Any final thoughts to you, Drew, as we kind of close this out?
I don't think so. I think Hatton shoots 66 and Hovland shoots 67, and they're on the optimal lineup. Figure out the other 4 spots.
Definitely. I like it. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe. We really appreciate that. But for Drew, I'm Snyder. Always run pure.